Good afternoon,
Hello.
everyone. Hello.
Welcome. Happy Friday, if you can say
hmm
that.
I think we can say that.
Yeah, it's still true. It's
Maybe
just
for some people
weekends.
it makes a difference.
Yeah, weekends aren't the same anymore, but we can still
No.
say Happy Friday.
hmm Yeah.
Oh dear. So, guys, welcome. As you're joining, please write to us in the comments. Please say
hmm
hello. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Just to, we might introduce ourselves in the meantime.
hmm Yeah. So my name is Emily, and I am from the UK originally, from the middle of England. And now I live in Milan. I moved here about 10 months ago, a little under a year. And I work in the center of Milan at our Meravigli school. And I'm here with my colleague today.
Yes, thank you, Emily. So I am Lisa. So some of you might know us already. So I also work with Emily in the centre of Milan in Meravigli, and I'm from Ireland. I've been living in Italy for 2.5 years now, and yeah, that's me.
hmm
So guys, say hello to us. We want to hear from you.
hmm
It would be really nice to hear from you and tell us how you are doing today, how
Yeah.
you're feeling. Okay.
Oh, perfect. We have two people already. We have Pierangela from Florence and Paola in
Fantastic.
Bologna. Lovely to see you both.
Excellent. Guys, welcome. Thanks for saying hello.
hmm
Okay, fantastic. Piera Angela and Paola. Fantastic. Paola, sorry. Okay, excellent, guys. Thank you for joining us for this hour.
hmm
So, oh, Emily, how have you been doing? How how are you
Yeah,
doing this fine Friday?
I am quite good this Friday. I
Mhm,
prefer normal Fridays, um, but
mhm.
it's very sunny. I that
Mm.
always makes me happier. And
Yeah,
in general, I find a lot of things to do. There are always more books to read, always more films to
exactly.
watch. So I keep me
Exactly.
quite happy. How are you today, Lisa?
Exactly. Exactly. Good. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm happy that the weather is nice. At least I can enjoy it from my balcony.
hmm Yes.
And maybe take a short walk later if possible.
hmm
But yeah, yeah, keeping busy. I've actually today I am going to get some. So I've ordered puzzles from
Ah,
Amazon. So
amazing.
today and tomorrow they're arriving. So I'm actually very
Oh,
excited about that.
that's very exciting. Yeah, my
Yeah.
my my dad and his partner are doing lots of puzzles at the moment. I think it's a good
Oh
thing to
wow.
do.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I love it and I hate it at the same time. But
Yeah.
okay, fantastic. And guys, we have also Luca is joining us. Welcome back, Luca from Navarra.
Hi.
Francesca,
hmm
fantastic. Hello, brilliant. Simone, hello from Palermo. Brilliant. Okay. And Paola is also saying that the weather is good in Bologna. Okay.
Mm.
So the weather is good. So there is sun. We might say it could be better to say it is sunny. It
hmm
is sunny
Yeah.
instead. So yeah, it is sunny. Because there is sun, I think that's a direct translation. Whereas in
Mhm.
English we would say it is sunny. It is sunny.
Yeah, absolutely. And hi
And
to
welcome,
Elisa.
Elisa.
Okay.
Excellent.
Lovely to see so many repeated faces or names
Yeah,
rather than faces at the moment.
it's great.
So
Yeah, it's great. I think we have a solid 6 to 7 following,
I think we do,
which is
yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
probably know each other at this point as well.
Exactly. No, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Mm.
So, we're going to talk a bit about fears. Okay, a
Mhm.
little bit about fears in this hour. So Emily, what are we going to talk about?
So, we're going to talk about how to say what you are afraid of, maybe what your fears
Hmm.
are, and some new vocabulary on fears. So that might be examples of very common things that people are afraid of.
Mhm.
And telling stories in the past, we might get to that using
Mhm.
when and while. So
Perfect.
we will
Okay.
see how we go.
Exactly.
I
It always
love this
depends.
picture, by the way. This
Yeah,
picture is always very comforting to me.
I know. I know, it's lovely. It's also kind of similar to what a lot of people are doing right now.
Yeah. Yes, we kind of cocoon. You contain yourself in a small area.
Exactly. Yeah, it's true.
Mhm.
Uh, okay.
Okay, we
Okay,
have a
perfect. So
question.
Francesca,
Mhm.
mhm. Yeah, so
I
during
think
this
there is a
class, if
time
it's
limit.
possible,
Mhm.
I think that this way.
Right, so Francesca would like us to write our corrections as well as say
Okay.
them. Okay,
Yeah, of
that's
course.
a good
So
point. We can do that for you, yeah.
exactly. I'll actually just put the one I said there about it is sunny.
Mhm.
I'll put that in the comments there. But yeah, of course, we will do that. And also, maybe she's also talking to everyone else to write in the comments
Mhm.
to help,
Sure.
which is helping us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, both ways. We will do our
Exactly.
best. Yeah.
Exactly. And also, yeah, also this is just what I was referring to about
Mhm.
saying it is sunny. So what we say in English instead of we don't say there is sun or today we just say it is sunny. It is
Mhm.
sunny. Okay. So we can say in Milan
Yeah.
it is sunny today.
Mhm.
Okay, so some different ways to say I'm afraid of something.
Mhm.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
will we ask the guys? Do they know or shall we go through them?
Yeah, so maybe we will show you some, but if you can think of any others, please let us know. So
Mhm.
these ones are very common. Oh,
Okay.
we have some comments about what people are afraid of, which is great.
Fantastic. Okay, great. Yeah, guys, keep those coming. We'll go through them.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll put that up
Um,
as well, guys. If you want to tell us what are you afraid of,
mhm.
you can tell us as well. Okay.
Yeah. So these expressions all mean I'm afraid of. Maybe they are some of them are stronger than others. So we have I'm scared of. Some of you will
Mhm.
know that one. I'm
Mhm.
frightened of. I'm terrified of. I'm scared to death of. And I get goosebumps when. So the last one is a little different. We'll maybe
Mm.
talk about that in a second. But which one, Lisa, do you think is the strongest? Where are you most scared?
So I think either it would be I'm terrified
Hmm.
because terror, that comes from terror, so it's very, very
Hmm.
strong. Or scared to death of, because I'm
Hmm.
scared to death. I'm completely petrified.
Hmm.
um,
Yeah,
so I think those would be the
petrified is another
strongest
one.
ones. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I'm
Um,
petrified. I am so scared I am stone. I cannot move.
exactly, exactly. And also, so goosebumps. It's a kind of a
Mm.
funny word, goosebumps.
Yeah.
Um, So, just if anyone doesn't know, so the goosebumps are if you get raised spots on your skin, so
Hmm.
usually on your arms, and it's usually happens when we experience strong emotions, so strong fear. So goosebumps are that it's when your skin becomes raised.
Hmm.
So that's what goosebumps are.
Yeah.
It's
You
actually
get them when you're cold as well,
yeah,
sometimes.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so it's like a reaction. It's
Hmm.
temporary. It's a temporary reaction as well. Okay, so also we have okay, Alessio has joined us from Naples. Welcome, Alessio.
Welcome.
Fantastic. Brilliant. So we can maybe go through some of the comments as well.
Hmm. Yeah. So
Okay.
Francesca, I so either I am or I'm.
Mhm,
So you don't need
mhm.
the apostrophe with I am. So I am afraid of snakes and of course of coronavirus. Yeah, I think a lot of people are a little scared at least or a little nervous. about
Yeah.
coronavirus.
It's very true.
Mhm.
Okay. And Paula says, I'm afraid of. Okay, so the dark is funny because we say the dark.
Mhm.
I'm afraid of the dark and snakes. Because when we
Mhm.
talk about the dark, we talk about the whole concept of darkness.
Mhm.
So we give it
Yeah.
an article. We say, I'm afraid of the dark. The dark.
Mhm.
Okay, the dark. Really good.
So Pierangela,
Okay.
I'm afraid of earthquakes. So we always use the plural. So earthquakes. Yeah,
Exactly.
some of them, especially big ones, are very scary. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny because it's never something that happens in Ireland, so we never had to be afraid
Mhm.
of it, but it's quite common
Yeah.
in Italy. So yeah,
Yeah.
just like that with the S as well. So just
Mhm.
the spelling of we both did it, sorry.
Yeah. That's
Just
you can be
just to help.
extra certain.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. And then also, so Alessio has told us, I'm very afraid of taking airplanes, so we can use the plural, taking airplanes,
Mhm.
or also what we commonly say is, I have a fear of flying. I have a
Mhm.
fear of flying. So we very commonly say that. So someone who's afraid, because my father also has the same fear at SEO, and he hates going on planes. So he would say, I have a fear of flying.
Mhm.
Okay. But yeah, you can also say I'm very afraid of taking airplanes. It still makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay. And then Luca. So Emily, do you want to read
Mhm.
this one?
Sure. So we have I'm terrified of heights since I was younger. So here we can use the present perfect, which some of you may
Mm-hmm.
know, because it's something that started in the past and is true now also. So I have been terrified of heights since I was younger. So
Mm-hmm.
the fear started in the past when I was younger, and it is still true now.
Exactly. So just like this. So we can say I've
Mhm.
been terrified. I've been terrified. Just like this, I've been terrified. And
Mhm.
this is just to show you guys. So just to show you, when we speak about a fear of planes, we can say I have a fear of flying, or I'm afraid of flying. I'm
Mhm.
afraid of flying. Okay. And Simone has, when I was a child. Okay, so remember, Simone, we're talking in the past. So
Mhm.
talking in the past. So when I was a child, I was afraid. I was afraid of big dogs. Okay. Perfect. Oh no,
Okay,
I thought you had
I've got this
corrected it,
one.
but he still put the same mistake. But yeah, I was afraid of big dogs, so we can use the
Mhm.
past there. Um, yeah, I think this is a common fear that people have,
Mhm.
to be afraid of dogs.
Yeah,
Did you ever have this, Emily, or?
I did. Now I would use a different expression. I would say I'm wary of dogs.
Ah,
So
very
this is
good.
another nice expression. So if you are
Okay,
wary of something, you don't avoid it. You are not very scared, but you are very careful and you are
yeah,
very aware of everything that happens. So maybe
exactly. Yeah,
I notice the dogs, I see what they are doing around me.
exactly. Yeah, it's kind of like being cautious as well and being a little bit
Mhm.
nervous.
Yeah.
Really good, exactly. At the moment as well, we would say that very commonly. Like
Hmm.
at the moment, I'm wary of going to the supermarket. You know,
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
very cautious. You're a little bit on edge. It
Hmm.
makes you nervous. So wary. That's a really good phrase.
Hmm.
Excellent. Okay,
Okay.
really good. Thank you guys for your comments. That's fantastic.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then these are our top 10 fears.
Hmm. I think we
So our top
discussed
10
some of
fears.
them already.
Exactly. So we can just go through the vocabulary, I think,
Mhm.
or actually, will we get the guys to match the vocabulary?
I think there are maybe one or two that are unfamiliar,
Mhm.
so it's useful to match, I think. So what
Exactly.
do you think the pictures are? Which words are they? Um,
Exactly. So some of them they're difficult to see because they're quite
yeah,
small, but
mhm,
just guess. Okay, it's just a bit of
mhm,
a game, guys.
absolutely. Yeah.
uh, so yes, I'm just gonna put that up, guys. So match
Mhm,
the vocabulary to the pictures. Okay,
yeah.
so tell us which ones go where. So we'll
So
give you a
maybe.
little bit of time
Mhm,
to match those up.
yeah. So maybe we'll
Okay,
read them aloud just to give you a moment to think about those and for
sure.
pronunciation. So we have
Hmm.
snakes, spiders, heights, ghosts, the dark, thunder and lightning, confined spaces, needles, dogs, and flying. So again, see, we have flying here and not really aeroplanes.
Hmm.
We use
Exactly.
the verb more often.
Exactly. Yeah, because we're afraid of the action as well, the
Hmm.
action of going up in the plane. Even
Yeah,
though I know it's funny because it might sound like you're actually flying the plane.
yeah.
But yeah, that's just how we say it.
Hmm.
Um, do you have any fears, Emily?
Oh wow, big question.
Sorry.
No, no, I do. I From this list, I am a bit scared of spiders. I'm better than I was as a child, but I'm still a little scared.
Hmm.
And I have a strange fear. I am afraid of escalators, which is a bit
Okay.
embarrassing. Um,
No, my mom has the like I don't know if it's a fear, it's just more like nervousness.
mhm,
Um, which I always found kind of funny. But but I can understand it as well. It's a
mhm.
bit of a stressful thing.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Lisa?
Wow. Um, so kind of similar to what Simone was saying. So when I was a child, I was very scared of the dark.
Mhm,
So I had a very strong fear of the dark when I was a child. Um, but now I don't know really, to be honest. It's funny.
mhm.
Sometimes I have a fear of confined spaces. So
Hmm. Yeah.
crowds,
Right.
especially
Yeah.
crowds. I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Me too. Occasionally.
I get
Hmm.
quite nervous. It's not
Hmm.
something like I'm actively afraid of. It's more when I end up in that
Yeah.
situation, I realize that I'm like, oh my God.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes these things happen unexpectedly if you're not normally afraid, but there is a specific situation that maybe
exactly.
gets
Yeah,
to
it's
you.
true.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Right. So
I can imagine.
we have a lot of answers. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Actually, first we might just take a look at because Francesca made a
Yeah.
sentence here, and then we can look at these. So I'm wary about. Okay, so a is singular. Okay, so a man or men. Okay, men that came in my home for. Okay, so do you mean workers? So like workmen?
Hmm.
Because they're when they come into your home, they make you a bit nervous. Maybe that's what my interpretation.
Hmm.
So maybe you could maybe just say we could simplify this a bit and say I'm wary about workmen that come into my home to do work. Maybe to do work. We could say it this way. Or would you phrase it a different way, Emily?
No, I agree. I think come into my home, really emphasizing the
Hmm.
entrance to do
Yeah,
work. Yeah. Yeah, I think we
exactly.
do just use work. There isn't a really specific word that we use there.
Yeah, exactly, because it's different types, they might come in and do different types
Hmm.
of work.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So
Okay,
we're
so
going
that's
to do
just
that.
kind of how we would say that, workmen that
Hmm.
come into my home to do work. Yeah, exactly. They make you a little bit nervous, maybe a bit
Hmm.
conscious. Really good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Great.
excellent. So then let's go through the answers. So we have lots of answers from Luca. Thank
We
you.
do, yeah. I think from other
Amazing.
people, but they grouped them together. Other people.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think
Yeah,
Paola
whichever way
gave
works,
us
guys.
a lot of answers as well. That's great. So yeah, A, we do have needles.
Excellent.
So just be aware that
Perfect.
needles are the object, and the action that people do with needles is an injection. Yeah, if someone puts a needle into your arm, that is an injection. So some people are afraid of those things.
Perfect. And we have, so Pierre Angela has said B is ghosts. Ghosts. And so has Luca and Paola. Fantastic.
So C, as
And
people have said, heights.
perfect. Yeah. So Paola has that here. Heights. Fantastic. Heights. And also D is spiders. Okay, perfect. Spiders.
E, yes, is snakes. Absolutely. I think again,
Brilliant.
Luca has said this, Paola has said this. Well done.
Yeah, really good, guys. Excellent. Fantastic answers. Thank you. Okay, and I'm going to take them off the screen now because I realize I'm blocking it. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, and then F is a little bit confusing, I think. But I believe it is confined spaces. Like Luca has said, confined spaces.
Yeah, sometimes small spaces you can say as well. And thunder and lightning is G. Really good. I think again we have some answers there. You can also say storms if you prefer.
Yeah,
some people I know are afraid of lightning, but not thunder. I know I'm a bit wary of lightning, because you know it can cause damage. It can be dangerous.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just the whole experience. It's just everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. And how do we explain? Because sometimes it's confusing, the difference between thunder and lightning in English. So in the picture you can see, okay, the bolt of light. Okay, bolt of light. So that is the lightning, because lightning we see. Okay, lightning we see. Whereas thunder we hear during a storm. Okay, so thunder is the one you hear, the loud rumbling, and lightning is the one we see, the light.
Great. So I think the next one again, Luca said, Paola as well, the dark. So again, remember we use the article there and the dark.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. Really good. Sorry, I'm sending the notes. And then flying. Okay, as we said, flying, the action.
Yeah, and dogs as well, as we said. And I think Francesca or someone said big dogs before, so you can be specific if you want to as well. That was great.
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic.
Do any of these fears surprise you that they are that common? Are you surprised by this top 10 list?
Maybe ghosts.
Yeah, I think that surprises me as well.
Yeah, maybe, but I guess maybe if this is including children, I guess the top 10 fears maybe of children, I would imagine. But in general, no, I think the dark, flying, storms, needles, definitely. I think they're very, very common.
Yeah.
What about you? Is there anything that surprises you?
I think ghosts also. I think
Yeah.
maybe a lot of people, are afraid of death, maybe, or of dying. That is one that
Yeah.
I would probably expect
True.
on this list.
True.
Um,
Yeah.
and maybe clowns also is again very common.
Yeah.
The people who dress up for children's parties. If anyone knows It by Stephen
It's
King, for example, that's an
it's true
example of
actually.
a clown.
It's a common fear that people have or
Mhm.
had.
Yes.
Really good. Yeah, it's true.
Okay. So again, we talked about this a little, but maybe in the comments you can tell us. So which ones are you most terrified of? Or which ones are you least frightened of? Which ones do not frighten you at all?
Exactly. Exactly. One as well that's not there is actually something I have sometimes. I have a bit of a fear of driving.
Hmm.
So I sometimes don't like I don't like driving, and I still don't have my license.
Hmm.
So the driver's license is the card, the permit you get.
Yeah.
So the driver's license. So I still don't have it because I am too afraid of driving.
So I understand that.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, because I was in a car crash when I was younger, and
Right.
in Ireland the roads are terrible. They're really, really, really bad in some areas, and crashes are so common. So like my auntie was in a crash, my uncle was in a crash, my father was in
Wow.
a crash. Like
Yeah.
it sounds like
No.
we're terrible drivers, but it's actually just the roads are so bad. But anyway.
Yeah. So that's a logical fear then. 'Cause sometimes
Yeah.
fears have a reason, have an origin, and
Mm.
sometimes there is nothing really obvious about them.
Yeah, exactly. Because so would we say logical, and then the opposite is more, it's not illogical, it's more irrational, would we
Yeah,
say?
yeah, irrational for
Irrational fear.
fears.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you can have an irrational fear, which is maybe not, like it's maybe completely extreme and there's no logic to it at
Hmm.
all or no reason behind it. And then a
Yeah.
logical fear,
Hmm.
where you have a reason to be afraid of that thing.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think driving is often one of the logical ones, whereas my strange fear of escalators is definitely irrational. There is no
True.
reason that I can think of for that.
Oh, it's true. Um, okay, and Pierre Angela has said, I'm terrified. Okay, she corrected that. I'm terrified of heights and ghosts.
Hmm.
Heights and ghosts. Very good. Yeah.
Great.
Okay, excellent. Really, really good. Yeah, I think heights is a very common fear.
Yeah, I have that in some situations because I'm not afraid of heights, but I'm afraid of falling. So in
Yeah.
some situations, heights can be a problem for me.
Yeah. Great.
Okay,
Um,
so I think we'll move on. So we can't. So
yeah.
maybe we'll do
So we'll hop
these adjectives. Maybe.
exactly the
Mhm.
vocabulary. So
Mhm.
here we want to match the opposites, isn't it? So we want to match
Mhm.
the opposites.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. Perfect. So we have fearful. Okay, so fearful. So guys, take a look at these. We'll read through them in the meantime.
Mhm.
Okay. We'll read through them. And match the opposite adjective.
Mhm.
So you tell us in the comments let's say, for example, fearful and its opposite. Okay.
Mhm.
So just practice this a little bit, and we'll also explain them as we go through after.
Mhm.
Okay, afterwards. Okay, so on the left we have fearful, reckless, confident, strong, bold, brave. And then on the right, we have weak, fearless, careful, afraid, cowardly, and shy.
Mhm.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, and some of the guys have come back with comments as well.
Amazing.
Okay, so while you guys are working on that, we'll take a look at these.
So Francesca says,
Okay.
when I was a child, so remember we always need there. When I was a child, I was afraid of scary stories. Okay, yeah. So with the light on the face. Okay, so maybe someone has got a torch on the face. You can see kind of dark
Like this.
and light. Yeah. When in the, I think this is a typing error. When in the nighttime there was a storm outside. Wow, very atmospheric. That a big mix of fears, scary stories, and the dark, and a storm.
Exactly.
That was very scary.
Exactly. Yeah, it's true. I remember that actually, being a child and when people are telling ghost stories and
Yeah.
it being very scary. So that's just there. When I was a child, I was. So like we mentioned before. And Piera Angela says, I'm least frightened of dogs. Okay. Yeah, I would have to say that too. I don't have any fear of dogs. Maybe just sometimes if they're very aggressive or maybe acting strangely, but generally I love dogs. So yeah. Okay, so guys, match. So take a look at these and match the opposites. So I know some of you are starting to comment, so keep them coming.
Yeah.
I know that this one we're talking about Alex here in the picture. He's a free climber. He's a person who does extreme sports. So extreme sports. Yeah, I think it's something that not everyone.
No, it's not for me. It's amazing to watch him.
Yeah.
Because I think he climbs very difficult rocks, very difficult mountains with no equipment, with nothing to help him.
Okay. So we have a question from Luke, which is a very good question. So what's the meaning of reckless? The meaning of reckless. Okay. Very good. So like we were talking about there, so this guy, he does extreme sports, so dangerous activities, okay? So someone who is reckless does something dangerous without being careful, okay? Without paying attention. Okay, so reckless is probably when they know that there is a risk or something is dangerous, but then they just don't care enough about it. So it's very dangerous behavior. It's when someone is very dangerous.
And sometimes without thinking about things as well. If you do something very careless without considering the danger too much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so reckless. Whereas someone who is the opposite of reckless is very so they pay attention, they prepare for everything, even if it's going to be okay. Excellent. So he's got it there.
Yeah, that's great. And just to clarify, there is no wreckful. For some reason, it's just one of these words where there is no verb attached to it. There is no wreck like this. We only have reckless. It's just one of those weird words. Whereas a lot of them, you can see the opposites quite clearly. Like you said, fearful and fearless. You can see the connection there. But for some reason, we don't have that for reckless.
Yeah, exactly. And also really good as well. So yeah, so we have, okay, so Piera Angela, as we said, so careful is the opposite of reckless. Okay, but we'll explain a bit more the difference between brave and bold. Because it's quite confusing. Perfect. So confident and shy is what the guys are saying. So confident and shy, fantastic. Then strong and weak.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, amazing. And then, so Pierre Angela is wondering, what's the meaning of bold? So the opposite of bold. I don't think anyone's given us the answer yet, probably because it's confusing.
No, we do have the answer to the final one.
Yeah,
Lucas said brave and cowardly go together. So that would mean bold and
exactly.
afraid go together, which is
Exactly.
absolutely
Okay.
right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so when it comes to brave, okay, so brave is someone who does something maybe that is very difficult for them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or else they're also like someone who's brave. Maybe they're facing a difficult situation, but they're
Mm-hmm.
being positive about it. They're being confident about it. They're being brave, even if they have some fear. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so they maybe have some fear or some doubt. Whereas bold, I guess you don't have that fear.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of
Yeah.
push yourself to do something, and you're not afraid. You're just very strong.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of my view of it. I don't know,
Yeah.
Emily, what
Yeah, that's my view as well. That brave, you do
Mm,
something even though you are afraid, and bold
mm,
is maybe you're not so afraid. So
yeah,
cowardly, the opposite of brave, you are afraid and it stops you doing things. It means you cannot live your life like normal.
exactly. So yeah, so brave even when you are afraid. Uh, Whereas bold, we would say you don't have that fear.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Bold we can also use for typing, for fonts. You can see
Hmm.
headings often in bold, something that is maybe more obvious, something that is very clear.
Hmm. Exactly. Okay, perfect. And yeah, and we use it. I don't know if it's common in England as well. In Ireland, we use bold for someone who is badly behaved, like
Uh,
children who were acting bold. I don't know
no, I haven't heard that
if that's just
before,
an
but I
Irish
like
thing.
that. Hmm.
It's an Irishism, I think.
Hmm.
It's like stop being bold. It's like you're doing something you're not supposed to.
Mm. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I can definitely imagine the link there for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
Um, Another thing maybe to mention, we talked about careful. You can also say
Hmm.
careless, which is
Hmm.
maybe you don't take so much care. Whereas reckless is you don't think. Then careless is very similar. Maybe you are not very clear. You
Hmm.
don't you're not so precise. You can be careless also.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Perfect.
often when you have full, you have less as well. Not always, but
Yeah,
very
it's true.
often.
Exactly. Perfect. And Luca is asking, is it right to say courageous?
Hmm.
Okay, courageous. We can say that. It's funny. We don't use it very much
Hmm.
as
Yeah,
native
I think
speakers.
yeah, I think for me it's probably more literary or more poetic.
Mm,
But
yeah.
people understand it if you say it.
Yeah, it's true. We often just kind of in speaking we would say, "Wow, he's so brave." We wouldn't say he's
Hmm.
so courageous.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah.
courageous. I think of kind of heroes, classical people,
Mm,
maybe in the army or
yeah.
stories that you hear in mythology. Whereas brave is kind of more emotional. It can be maybe
Mm,
someone is very ill or they have a family member who is ill. You can say they are very brave
mhm.
because they
Yeah,
struggle through a
exactly.
situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like there's nothing the word is correct, Luca, just to clarify. Like the
Hmm.
word is
It is.
perfect, but
Hmm.
it's just something we don't commonly say. It's more
Hmm.
written.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, good point also from Alessio. So we can
Yeah.
understand so remember the the meaning. Okay, we can understand the meaning
Mhm.
of brave from the movie. So from the
Mhm.
movie Braveheart.
Yeah,
Okay, from the movie
absolutely.
Braveheart. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, William Wallace. Very, very brave.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, there are lots of films and things like that call about bravery.
Mhm.
It's a very common topic.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, really good. Okay.
So,
So, overcoming fear. Okay, so overcoming fear. So I always think of to overcome something. It's like you get over that difficulty and
mhm,
get better. Okay, so what are the most important qualities a person needs to overcome their fears?
mhm,
Okay, and what's the best way to get over a fear?
mhm,
Okay, guys, so give us your opinions. Okay, give us your opinions on this, maybe even from your own experiences.
mm,
Okay, take a look at these and let us know what you think. Okay, so we're talking about the qualities a person needs to overcome their fears, and you
mhm,
can explain why. Okay, you can tell us why, and then the best way to get over something. Okay, to get over.
mhm.
So, Emily, what does it mean to get over a fear?
Yeah, so to get over a fear is like to move past it, to no longer
Mm.
feel that fear. So maybe
Yeah.
some of you mentioned you were afraid of the dark or of other
Hmm.
things as a child. So how did you
Hmm.
stop? How did you stop the fear?
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, try and tell us what you think about this.
Mm,
Okay, what you think about this. Um, yeah, for me, I don't want to give away maybe someone's going to
yeah.
say it, but I think anytime I've ever had a fear of something or a worry or a doubt, I think the best way for me to get past that was to confront it, to face
Mhm.
it. I know
Yeah.
it's a cliche. It's a cliche,
Yeah,
but
no,
I think
absolutely.
it's
Yeah, and I think this is a useful phrase to face a fear, like to
Mhm.
look at it completely and to
Mm.
do what you need to stop
Yeah.
feeling it. Yeah.
Yeah. For example, when I talked about when I was younger and I was so afraid of the dark,
Mhm.
um, the only way I got used to it and I got over it,
Mhm.
the only way I did that was by just literally sitting in the dark and
Yeah.
telling myself, this is all in your mind,
Mhm.
telling myself this is all in your mind, trying to give myself some, I guess, logic to it and to
Mhm.
understand where that came from.
Yeah.
So yeah, to face the fear, to
Mhm.
face the fear. Oh,
Yeah, and
fantastic.
Luca
Exactly.
agreed.
Really good, Luca.
Mhm.
Excellent. Really
Yeah.
good sentence. I think the best way to get over a fear is facing the fear.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think sometimes you can face a fear without making it a big deal. So maybe if you are afraid of spiders, you could either look at a picture or you could.
Hmm.
I think for me, I faced that fear by removing very small spiders. So ones that are not very, very harmless. There is no danger to them. um,
that's that's better
mostly
than a.
because there was no one
I,
else to take them out. So,
yeah,
you have to.
yeah, exactly. That's more brave. That's more brave than my ex-boyfriend had a fear of spiders and he could never get rid of them himself.
Oh, no, I don't know if I can get rid of them very big ones. I might be too scared
Okay,
to do
okay.
that. But the ones that are not too big are fine now.
Yeah. Excellent.
And Luca also
Oh,
says
very good.
maybe another way could be to go to the psychologist. Yeah, that is absolutely
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
exactly. And also, I know people who go to, not a psychologist, but also someone, a hypnotherapist.
Mm,
So someone to hypnotize them out of a fear if it's an irrational fear.
hmm
I've heard of some people doing this.
mm.
Um, Okay. And Pierangela has said, so from my experience, so actually there we can say from my experience. Okay,
Mhm.
so from my experience or in my experience as well, we can say in my experience. To get over a fear is to, okay, so we can just say is to confront the fear,
Mhm.
to confront the fear. I'm afraid of heights, and okay, so if it was in the past, I went up. So I went up the Eiffel Tower. I went up the Eiffel Tower.
Mhm.
Okay, really good. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Excellent. So yeah, just there. So as I said, we would say from my experience. So if you're talking about, or just in my experience in general,
Mhm.
in my experience. So yeah, to confront the fear. To confront the fear.
Mhm.
Exactly. Really, really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I think
So yeah,
as you
guys.
said, sometimes you need to be brave to confront the fear there.
Definitely. The thing is though, and I think it's also about your mentality.
Mhm.
Because for example, my father has faced his fear of flying many times, but he's
Mm.
never overcome it.
Yes. Yeah.
He's more so just had to deal with it. So I think you
Mhm.
need the mentality of, I want to get over this as well.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, and I think habit
mm,
helps as well because there was a period of time when to go to the shops, I had to take an escalator at least twice
yeah.
each shopping trip, um, just to get my groceries, just to get everything I needed. Um, so
Yeah.
I was probably better with them at that time, but now I don't need them very often. I can avoid them very easily most of the time.
Yeah.
So the fear grows and grows.
It's like me and the driving. I don't have to
Mhm.
drive, so then I get more afraid now for the next time.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. So yeah.
Okay. And Lucas says
Oh,
something
fantastic.
similar. Yeah,
Yeah. Brilliant.
yeah, I think
Yeah, it's
I
true.
would be as well. Mhm.
Yeah, well, even I don't have a fear of heights. You can still be without a specific fear, but have that fear in the moment, I think as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Sometimes I don't have a fear of heights, but then I get vertigo, like you were saying
Mhm.
about Emily, like that feeling of vertigo when you're actually on a height. You look and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I remember I went to the Acropolis in Athens in Greece, and the floor is made of marble, so it's very kind of
Uh-huh.
easy to fall with that
Okay.
and also it was raining. So
Yeah.
I was very,
Oh,
very scared
oh my
in that
God.
in that experience. But
It's
maybe on
literally,
a different day I would not have been so scared.
yeah, it's literally a recipe for disaster there.
Yeah, I know. I was very worried.
The floor, the rain.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
okay, so guys, we're almost finished
Mhm.
this webinar, but please let us know if you have any final questions. Fantastic participation today. It's been
Yeah,
really, really good.
mhm,
Thank you for all your answers and for sharing your experiences.
mhm.
Yeah, it's been lovely. So yeah, please
Yeah,
let us
it
know. We
was.
just have another minute there, or if you want to get in your final answers.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, yeah. So I hope you all have a lovely weekend as well. I know it doesn't
Yeah,
make as much difference as normal, but
yeah.
still, hopefully you can make the weekend a bit different.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Find something to do
Mhm.
uh, to stay positive and do something nice and
Yeah,
productive.
we have a
Exactly.
nice final comment from Francesca. It's very important to believe in yourself and to have positive people around you to encourage you.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Really good. And just a really small thing there, Francesca. So we can say encourage like this. Encourage.
Mhm.
Okay, this is spelling to encourage you. But
Yeah.
really good. Yeah, I
Mhm.
totally believe in that too.
Yeah,
It's a
me
really
too.
good point.
Okay.
Okay, so
So,
guys, thanks so much.
mhm. Thank you. Have a lovely day, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a great day and a great weekend. Bye.